This tutorial is for 2nd grade, Module 4, Part 2, Lesson 24. In this lesson, we're going to start off by using mental math. The first section says solve using mental math or by using a place value chart. So I'm going to use mental math. The first problem is 25 minus 5. So 25 minus 5 is just 20, since I just took 5 ones away from 25. I'm going to compare that to 25 minus 6. Well, since 25 minus 5 was 20, and 6 is 1 more than 5, I know that I'm going to subtract 1 more than I did on the first problem. So that means 25 minus 6 would be 19, because I just take it one step further. I subtracted 5, then if I subtract 6, it's just going to be subtracting 1 more number. We'll compare that to the next problem. 125 minus 25 is going to be 100, because I have 25 in my first number, and I'm subtracting 25 from it. So that just leaves 100. Now, if I have 125 and I'm subtracting 26, again, I'm subtracting 1 more than I did in that first problem. So I'm going to subtract 1 more from the 100. So 125 minus 26 would actually be 99, because I'm just taking it one step further. In Part B, I have 160 minus 50. So I'm going to subtract 5 tens from the 6 tens in this number. That would leave me with 110, because I have 1 10 left. In the corresponding problem, I have 160 minus 60. So this time I'm subtracting 6 tens from the 6 tens that were already there, and that leaves just 100. And the last part, I have 160 minus 70. Well, I subtracted 6 tens in the previous problem. Now I'm subtracting 7 tens. So I know my answer is going to be 10 less than that previous problem. So that would go down to 90. And now I have 160, and I'm going to subtract 8 tens. So again, we're going to go back another 10, since from 7 to 80 is another 10. So this time I will have 80. So just an example of how you could use mental math to solve those problems. And now I'm going to use a place value chart to solve some subtraction problems. So the problem we have here is 124 minus 60. I'll start by showing 124 on the place value chart as 100, 2 tens, and 4 ones. We're going to keep track of our steps down below. Starting in my ones column, I have 4 minus 0. So I'm not going to cross anything off, and that just leaves 4. In my tens column, I have 2 tens, and I need to subtract 6 tens. Well, I need to get some more tens over there so I can do that subtraction, which means I'm going to take my 100 and decompose it into 10 tens. 10 groups of 10 is the same as 100. So we'll decompose that and write our 10 tens in here. And we'll record that down below. So we took that 100, which leaves no hundreds, and decomposed it into 10 tens, added it to the 2 tens that were already there. Now I have 12 tens, and I'm going to cross off 6 of those, which leaves 6 tens. 12 minus 6 is 6. I'm not subtracting anything in my hundreds place, so my final answer is 64. Let's look at one more example. Here we have 232 minus 56. I'll draw my 232 on the place value chart. So that's 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 2 ones. Starting again in my ones column, I have 2 ones. I need to take away 6. So I'm going to need to get some more ones over there. So let's take one of our tens and decompose it into 10 ones. I'll mark those in the place value chart, and then I'll record that move down below. So we had 3 tens, we took one of them, so that leaves 2 tens, decomposed it into 10 ones, and combined it with the 2 that were already there. So now I have 12 ones, and I can subtract 6 of those. And that leaves 6 ones. Moving on to my tens column, I have 2 tens, I'm supposed to subtract 5, and I don't have 5. So let's take one of our hundreds and decompose it into 10 tens. Let's see, I'm going to put those down here just to keep it a little more clear on what we're doing. Okay, and we'll record that step as well. So we had 2 hundreds. We took one of them, so that leaves 1. We decomposed it into 10 tens and combined that with the 2 tens that were already there. That gives me 12 tens. Now I can cross off 5. And I see that I still have 7 tens. 12 minus 5 is 7. Again, I'm not subtracting anything in my hundreds place, so I still have 100. So my final answer is 176. So we're continuing to use that decomposing method to allow us to subtract in each of the different place value columns.